with Malcolm Davis. He's a senior analyst of defence strategy and national security at the Australian Strategic Policy Institute, speaking to us from Canberra. Malcolm, good to have you on the program. We've been looking at live pictures from Taiwan, whose military is on high alert. And as we heard there from our correspondent, Andrew, the Chinese Navy is surrounding the island, particularly on the eastern side. But this, of course, is not the first time that we've seen military drills by China. Could Taiwan security forces see today's drill as a possible rehearsal, shall we call it, and then be able to gather the intel and information that would help them prepare for a possible invasion if it were to come to that?
I think that's precisely what this is. On one part, this is about sending a signal to Taiwan, basically not to go down the path of independence. But the vast majority of the Taiwanese people don't want independence, nor do they wish unification with China. They want the status quo. Problem for China is that the status quo is unacceptable to Beijing. They want unification basically at any price in terms of their determination to impose unification on the Taiwanese people. So these exercises, in part, allow the PLA Navy and the PLA Air Force to practice a blockade operation that would be used in a preparatory move to ultimately lead to an invasion of Taiwan. I don't think this is an invasion per se, but what it is essentially a very provocative move by the Chinese to ramp up the pressure on Taiwan and essentially try to coerce Taiwan into moving away from any perceived path towards independence.
Provocative and certainly concerning. I mean, besides the military drill, could other measures against Taiwan be put in place by Beijing, like political or economic measures?
Certainly, and I think that what you could see is, for example, cyber attacks. In any cross-strait invasion of Taiwan by China, they would start with a blockade. They would then also seize offshore territories, so territories such as Kinmen, for example, and then they will conduct cyber attacks, electronic warfare attacks against critical information infrastructure in Taiwan before actually launching an actual invasion. So I do think that the sorts of exercises you're seeing now will be training for the PLA to prepare for that day when Xi Jinping orders that cross-straits invasion, because he realizes that it will not be possible to coerce Taiwan into accepting unification on China's terms. Xi will have no alternative really but to basically bring about that invasion. And I think that that's where we're headed in this regard.
Malcolm Davis, I really appreciate your analysis. Thank you so much for your time.